1977, Tommy, you were champion jockey, you had ridden Red Rum to that famous Grand National victory, and then later that year you suffered a horrific accident, not even on the racecourse itself, but in the paddock at Hexham. Tell me a little about what you remember of that.
I was just being, Arthur Stevenson legged me up and gone round the horse reared up, fell back on top of me and broke my pelvis in 12 places. And they took me straight into the hospital and x-rayed me and left my legs 4 inches longer on one side than the other. So they put me on traction in Hexham, and with weights it was like a hammock. The only thing touching the bed was my shoulders for over 3 months. And I was within a fit 10 stone. And when they left me down before Christmas, I was 8. Right. But, you know, they pulled my legs back together right again. And the one thing I was thinking about when I was trying to get back to ride Red Rum in the 78 Nationals. Yeah. And when they left me off the traction, they put me on a thing like an ironing board, and they dipped me down gradually, and I thought the blood would run out my toes. I collapsed. Right. But then I got going gradually. But I got back. I used to go into the gym in Leeds football team. I knew some of the players, that Peter Lorimer and such. They were very good fellas, used to come racing. I used to go in there and I used to kill myself trying to put back weight on again, because I said I had to be fit a month before the National to be properly fit. And I was fit. I was riding again by the 1st of March, which was just over 2 months, which you wouldn't do today. They wouldn't let you properly.
After you finished up riding, you didn't go into training straight away.
No, we had. I gave up and I came back to Ireland, and I had a job. I was working for Coolmore. John Magna gave me a job and I was very thankful for him. I was working in Longfield Stud. I was managing the stallions, and we had a few stallions there, and I was looking after the mares and foals, and then that's what I was doing for a year or two. And then we bought this place, Thomastown here, and I came over. I lived after a year now. I came over to live here, and we had some more mares and foals, and we had a horse or two that we couldn't sell. So I kept trying to believe myself that he was a bit of a racehorse, and I kept training him and going this, that, and the other, and we finally ran him, and he used to go lame, but he was a horse called Northern Express, and we won a listed race eventually under a permit holder. He was quite not a bad horse.
And, you know, had you thought about training, or was it something that just because of Northern Express that you thought, maybe I should give this a go?
Vincent O'Brien used to bring the horses here a lot for the flat horses, because I remember him bringing 2 bits of work. I'll never forget him here. He came and he used to always arrive on about at Cheltenham time. He arrived on with Golden Fleece one year. Right. And T.P. Burns rode him. It was the week, the first day of Cheltenham. And he came out of horse, there was 2 or 3 horses in the bit of work. Peter Off was one of them, who'd won the Flying Childers. But Golden Fleece had won his only race as a 2-year-old the back end of that year at Leopardstown, and he won. But they jumped off, having gone 2 furlongs. He was behind, he joined them, and up at the 5 he was 10 clear of him. And then the other good bit of work I'll never forget was when he arrived here on with El Grand Signor, Sadler's Wells and Salmon Leap a week before the English Guineas. Salmon Leap was the lead horse. He was the 4-year-old. He'd been 4th in the Arc the year before. They jumped off at the bottom. Salmon Leap led. At the 4 marker, Sadler's Wells joined him, and El Grand Signor was still 3 behind him. And at the 5, he was 3 in front of El Grand Signor. I'll never forget MV coming in here after having a cup of tea. He said, "That'll be the best bit of work," he says, "you'll ever see." Sure, he won the Guineas on the Saturday on the bridle, El Grand Signor.
I mentioned that in 77 you won the Grand National, and you had a very bad accident that year. 1998 you won the Irish 1000 Guineas with Tarascon, but the year ended up, you faced the biggest challenge of your life that Christmas. You came perilously close to death when you suffered a bout of meningitis. Tell me a little bit about that time.
Didn't feel too well around, was it Christmas Eve or the day beforehand, and went to bed, and that I got up, went to the loo and collapsed in the bathroom. And Liz came round and found me and got the ambulance out and took me to Clonmel Hospital. And luckily enough, I'll never thank this nurse enough. She knew straight away what I had, because a relation of ours had got the same thing a month or two before that. And she saved my life.
Incredible.
She injected me. Then they took me to the Mercy in Cork, and I was in a coma for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. But we got through it eventually. I was in hospital for about 2 months altogether.
Right.
And I lost the hearing, but that came back. I got that back when I got operated on in Manchester.
Did it change your outlook on life?
No. Life changes every day. There's no change and difference as long as you can get up in the morning and keep going. That's the main thing.
And what drove you to that recovery? I mean, it was a long road to recovery, but you fully recovered. You got back into the reins here at Thomastown again.
Well, I think the whole thing is to try to keep yourself as fit as you can. Whether you keep working or walking, there's no good sitting down all day worrying about yourself or doing this, that and the other. You have to get out and do something and concentrate on what you're doing.
Are you a man with a very positive outlook?
Yeah, still you have to keep going. Didn't think that I was going to fall in a hole. You have to keep going.
One of the outcomes of that illness nearly 2 decades ago was that Fozzie came back to join you here at Thomastown Castle. I suppose that was a significant move at the time and one that has worked out very well for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was at John Dunlop's at the time. He had gone there and he came back and he's taken charge since then.
Was that an easy decision for him and for you at the time? I mean, it was forced upon you in a sense. You obviously worked well.
No, I
together.
was glad he was back because I knew one day he'd take over the thing, so
Sure.
that it was only a rotation.
Sure. And are you now the assistant trainer in the new setup?
I'm assistant to everything. I'm assistant to nothing, probably.
But you're still hugely involved in the day-to-day work.
Oh yeah, keep going.
You're
You
not
have to
going
look
to-
after
that's not going
things.
to
And
change.
you have to go.
And what have been the highlights when you look back on those years?
Well, from a young age, playing for Munster was a big thing, going back.
Right.
And then riding my first winner at Weatherby was a big thing. And then going on to win the national
Right.
was something that you can only dream about.
Sure.
And then going and training some nice horses and have some very good owners and everything else, and having ridden for some great people. I want to thank them, and that's it.
I suppose that the tight family that you have here, Fozzie, Serena, Liz,
yeah.
yourself, is that extra special that you've all been able to enjoy these successes?
Exactly, they all move in and we enjoy together.
It's been a good career, it's been a good life.
Well, we can't change it anyway, can you?
And looking forward, what are you looking forward to?
Tomorrow. If you look forward to what's in front of you and look forward to tomorrow and see what's next, you always have to look. There's no good looking back because that's history. You have to look forward and keep looking forward.
Tommy, I'm very grateful that you've allowed me into your home and shared these memories with me. It's been a great pleasure and a great honour. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much indeed. Okay, thanks. All right.
Thank you.